The drama surrounding this confrontation did more than just light up social media. It forced the entire sports landscape to face what had been bubbling under the surface for far too long. What happened between Shedeur Sanders and Rex Ryan wasn't just an argument or a heated debate. It was a collision of two completely different realities meeting at full speed. On one side stood a young quarterback who has carried the burden of unfair narratives since the moment he entered the league, a player who has been denied support, denied structure, and denied the benefit of the doubt that so many other rookies get as part of their developmental process. On the other side stood a media veteran who has built his brand on loud opinions and absolute certainty, even when the facts tell a different story. When those two worlds clashed on live television, it created a moment that no one could ignore. As the exchange unfolded, viewers saw something rare and powerful. They saw a young quarterback refusing to shrink in the face of criticism, refusing to let someone else define his journey, refusing to let the narrative be shaped by people who have never walked in his shoes. There was a calm fire in the way Shedeur responded, a quiet confidence that said he understood not only the criticism but also the motives behind it. He understood that Rex Ryan has been waiting for a moment to reinforce his own opinions, but what he also understood is that this moment wasn't about Rex. It wasn't about media agendas or talking points. It was about the truth finally being spoken out loud. And that truth is simple. Shedeur Sanders has been placed in one of the most dysfunctional situations in the NFL, a situation where the team's historical failures have been projected onto him instead of being recognized as organizational issues. His first game was not a fair evaluation. His early struggles were not reflections of his talent. And his journey was never supposed to be defined by chaos. Yet everything around him seemed designed to make him fail, or at the very least make him look unprepared. That's why the analyst who defended him spoke with such passion. He understood that this wasn't a conversation about mechanics or reads or footwork. This was a conversation about respect, opportunity, and fairness. The confrontation also exposed the deeper truth about how the Browns have been operating behind the scenes. When you have an organization described as divided, with coaches and management reportedly seeing things differently, with game plans not aligning with personnel, and with players being sent onto the field unprepared, it creates an environment where even talented athletes struggle to find their footing. And when rookies are thrown in without cadence work or without reps, the outcome is predictable. They will look overwhelmed not because they lack ability, but because they weren't given the tools to succeed. That is what the analyst meant when he said the situation didn't look accidental. It was a wake-up call to the football world that something is seriously wrong within that building. What made the moment even more compelling was the emotional and personal layer added through Deion Sanders' dilemma about attending the game. His internal debate about whether to be physically present highlighted the pressure surrounding the situation from every angle. A father should never have to second-guess whether supporting his son will trigger unnecessary media storms, but that is the reality the Sanders family faces. It is an environment where even love becomes a storyline, where even silence is interpreted as influence, and where even showing up can be viewed as a distraction. That tension, layered on top of the dysfunction within the Browns organization, painted a picture of a young quarterback fighting battles on multiple fronts. Yet through it all, Shedeur showed the kind of resilience and mental strength that separates ordinary players from special ones. The story about the break-in, the stolen property, the chaos unfolding in his life off the field yet not once affecting his preparation, revealed a maturity that many veterans still struggle to master. The way he spoke about knowing he's the guy wasn't arrogance but conviction. It was the mindset of a quarterback who understands that leadership comes not just from performance but from belief in oneself even when everything around you is crumbling. It was the attitude of someone who refuses to be defined by circumstances. This interview, this moment, and this confrontation were far bigger than a simple disagreement. They became a spotlight shining directly on the fractures within Cleveland, on the biases within certain media personalities, and on the strength of a young quarterback who refuses to bend. It was a turning point, a line drawn in the sand where Shedeur made it clear he would no longer sit quietly while others shaped his story. And for the first time all season, millions watching finally understood what he has been up against. Now the stage is set. The Las Vegas game is no longer just a debut. It is the test that the entire sports world will use to measure him, fair or not. Every throw, every decision, every moment will be magnified because of this confrontation. The believers see this as Shedeur's opportunity to silence the doubters. The critics are ready to pounce at the first sign of struggle. And hovering above it all is the knowledge that this game is not just about football. It is about narrative, respect, and vindication. Whatever happens, one thing is certain. The story is no longer only about how Shedeur performs on the field. It's about the truth that has finally been exposed. It's about the cracks within the Browns organization that can no longer be ignored. It's about the media voices that now must answer for their unfair narratives. And above all, it's about a young quarterback standing in the middle of a storm with the confidence to say he's ready for the moment. As we wait for kickoff, the tension is electric. The football world is divided, the conversation is louder than ever, and the spotlight on Shedeur Sanders has never been brighter. Sunday will not simply be a game. It will be an answer. An answer to critics, to supporters, to the organization, and to the man who dared to speak his truth on national television. Now the question comes to you. After everything that unfolded in that explosive interview, after seeing the layers of dysfunction and the layers of resilience, what do you think will happen on Sunday? Will Shedeur rise to the moment and prove the doubters wrong, or will the pressure become another unfair chapter in a story shaped by forces outside his control? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you want deeper breakdowns like this, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. This story is far from over, and we'll be here every step of the way to cover it with the depth and nuance it deserves.